Woman cleaning out a fish for dinner gets the surprise of her life. Well, there are plenty of vegetarians and vegans out there. Shout out to our plant-eating brothers and sisters. For the most part, humans are omnivores, and even though we share this dietary preference with many other animals, there are some key differences. For instance, unlike our wild animal friends, humans almost always cook their meat before consuming it. We technically don't have to, but for health reasons it's generally a good idea. As such, whenever we're about to prepare a delicious meal, we usually assume that our food is already, well, dead. At least that's what one family thought when they were about to make a freshly caught bowfin for dinner. Yet the fish had a trick up its sleeve that they didn't account for. While preparing a bowfin for dinner, this woman and her family were surprised to see there was more to this fish than they had originally thought. Perhaps it has something to do with the fact that bowfins are a kind of prehistoric fish, and thus they're full of mysteries. What happened next was like something straight out of a science fiction movie. The fish in question was very much dead, or at least it was supposed to be. Heck, it had even been decapitated and scaled. Nothing could survive that, right? Then, just when the woman was showing off the cut of meat to the camera, something strange happened. It was enough to make anyone scream in terror, not to mention reconsider ever eating fish or meat in general again. Bowfin are called a variety of names, including cypress trout, grinnell, griddle, dogfish, mudpike, shopeak, and mudfish. It's important to note that despite their prehistoric ancestry, they're actually highly evolved. Although fossil deposits for this species have been found in both North and South America, as well as Asia, Africa, and Europe, they're now almost exclusively found in southeastern Canada and the United States. Despite the fact that they are indeed edible, few anglers consider bowfish to be particularly desirable. In fact, they used to be considered a nuisance, since as predatory fish they were believed to be responsible for harming the population of sport fish. During that time, efforts were made to actively reduce the bowfin population, but since it was proven that bowfin can be beneficial to the balance of their ecosystems, they're now better protected by regulations. It wasn't that long ago that bowfin weren't considered valuable on a commercial level because their meat was considered bland. Now, however, good chefs have proven that if cleaned and cooked properly, they can be quite tasty. Whether or not you're fishing for them or eating them, there's no question that these are absolutely fascinating animals. That said, what this one bowfish did is enough to freak anyone out. How many other creatures do you know of that can be so similar to undead zombies? Of course, the fish is beyond dead, but its nerves are still very much firing away. Still, this is enough to make anyone cancel their plans for a nice sushi dinner. That's just plain creepy, but also utterly fascinating. Share this fishy video with your friends below.